Welcome to the Lynner Profile, where we highlight individual citizens from the Lynn community who are working to achieve their dreams or help others achieve theirs. Here with me today from the Antonio Anderson Skills Academy, we have Antonio Anderson, founder of the organization, and Mackenzie Charles, director of basketball operations. Guys, thanks for being here today. First and foremost, your organization, an outstanding one. We want to talk a little bit about the value that it's going to bring to the community, what the kids are getting, what you guys are giving back to the community. But first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about who you are and how you're involved. Antonio, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm Antonio Anderson, Lynn native. Went to Lynn Tech High School. Left Lynn, went to boarding school in Maine at MCI. I was fortunate enough to go play at the University of Memphis. Great 4 years there in Memphis. Played overseas, the NBA, the NBDL. Got a little taste of everything. And now I'm into coaching. Moved back home and found a way to give back.
You know, and you're a pretty humble guy. I mean, he's won a state championship at Lynn Tech. You're recognized as Defensive Player of the Year in 2009. You were on a team that had a record for most wins in the NCAA, and it's like you don't talk about that stuff. And it's cool because like you've had this outstanding career in basketball, and all of a sudden you're back here in your community, and you're giving it to children of parents who actually probably saw you win that state tournament, who saw you and watched you play at Memphis. So it's really cool. Mackenzie Charles, now you're a huge Lynn advocate. You're a big-time coach. You've coached at Lynn Tech. You're coaching football at Mount Ida. Big proponent to giving back to the student body, especially when it comes to athletes. I want to talk to you and about how you're involved with the organization.
I think my core role is to build the trust between us and to our community. To present what we do in a positive way, and to make sure the kids are working hard and being responsible and teaching them those life lessons. I think well, Antonio Anderson Skills Academy, and the skills part is really we use basketball to teach life skills. I think that's our job, and that's a big role of mine in this program.
You know, as a coach, I mean, we're all coaches here. That's kind of cool. But yeah, as a coach, like you can't help, like you soon realize once you get in the court, you're on the field, wherever you are, it becomes very little about that sport. Winning it's great and all, but at the same time, like the problems that kids have today and the issues that they come up to you with, like those have to take priority over dribbling skills, and it hits you in the feels, because you're developing relationships with these young citizens, future citizens of Lynn, who, basically you're going to be inspired by the same motivation that inspired you guys to get into coaching. I want to talk a little bit about the organization. So why do you guys do it? Antonio Anderson Skills Academy, okay? A big part of this is that Lynn has a huge focus when it comes to basketball. And we've got pretty much cream of the crop when it comes to the North Shore in regards to basketball athletes. Now you guys came in to a community that had basketball camps everywhere, and you've added some organization to it. You've got some big time names like Jake Canty, former owner of the North Shore Tides. You've got Helen Ridley, who's has an outstanding career, scored 1,000 points at Lynn Classical. Jasper Grasser, his family is a basketball legacy, so to say, in Lynn. So it's easy to understand why people are so interested. But I want to talk about why you guys do it. How did it come about? What was the purpose? Go ahead.
Pretty much, I actually called Mackenzie one day. We were talking, and I'm like, I need your help. He's like, with what? I'm like, man, I think everyone in Lynn are going outside of Lynn to learn basketball from people who never played basketball. I'm like, I'm here. I'm from here. People know where I'm from.
Right.
Lynn's always been a big part of me. I wanted to give back that way. And since kids don't have to leave home to go learn, you can learn from someone who played on the highest level of them all and was successful. Played with some great players who are still playing. And he's like, I'm all in. So we sat down and we tried to figure out ways to get kids to want to buy in. And like Mackenzie said, it's more than basketball. I tell kids stories from when I was a knucklehead in high school, had an attitude, and just it was all about scoring points.
Yeah.
So we try to get them to learn the right way to play basketball, the way to be a great teammate, encourage each other, not to always want to play with the better kids. You want to play with kids who aren't as good as you. You make them better.
Right.
Give them confidence. And we built kind of like bullet points in which we wanted to target the academy to be in, and that's what we stick by. We wanted to get guys who were successful. That's why we went after Jasper, Ryan Woon, Helen, Jeanette Anderson, his brother. We went after people who love doing what they're doing, and everyone that we have on our staff love giving back, love helping kids, love just helping Lynn, and that's all we care about.
Yeah.
We have kids from other cities, but they know when we bring that talk in, it's mostly Lynn talk, because we grew up in these streets, we grew up in the Boys and Girls Clubs, the Greg Houses, the YMCA, so we know what it's like, and we know there's not much opportunity in Lynn to come and get a great workout in for 2 hours, but also learn lessons on how to be this kind of person, how to build your character, how to have those kind of things. And we talk academic, we bring in college coaches and academic people who know what it takes, so they can get a sense of it at a young age.
Right.
And we just try to install those stabilities in these kids, to which so that they don't want to turn back.
There's without a doubt that you guys are actually, you're focused on the kids. You really are. And I mean, it's because you spent so much time in Lynn, and you guys grew up, and it's like, I remember I was playing golf one time with my grandfather, and he's trying to teach me how to drive. And I'm like, just leave me alone, man. I can figure it out. And he's like, hey, I wish I had a grandfather like me to teach me how to play golf. And it hurt. It hurt. I was like, oh, crap. Yeah. That really hurt me. And I understood that, And you got to appreciate people for what they can give you, and the struggles that they've gone through. Mac, now you were sitting at home one day. You got a call from Antonio, and he's like, hey, I want to help you do a basketball clinic. I need your help to organize this basketball clinic. What's going through your mind?
He called, and we actually met up at the barbershop. And we sat there and talked at the barbershop, and we were on the same page. We both just care about kids. I think the intentions on all our staff members, their intentions have to be kids first, and that's what it is. And I think that was our common goal right there. Was reaching the kids, and we wanted to set new standards for these kids in our community.
Is there a correlation between when you guys were kids, maybe you didn't have anything like this, and it was like, I wish I did, Yeah. Is that something that hits you?
That's big. It's big because we had great mentors. Growing up, Freddie Hogan was our coach, and he coached us in all the YMCA leagues and everything like that. But we wanted to take it to a whole nother level. We wanted to teach skill work, and we want to teach. And I think the one thing we learn at a young age, and it's so important, is we learn how to work hard. And I think that's our first step of trying to reach the kids in our community, is teach them how to work hard.
Right.
That it's okay to work hard. It's okay to sweat. It's okay to be tired.
Right.
You might have to throw up a little bit. It's okay. And I thought maybe as a community, we're getting away from that, and we wanted to bring that back. We want to get back to the core values of just working hard, being a good teammate. And we've been lucky enough to, in our growth of playing with good players and being coached by good players, and we were able to reach back to those resources to get them to come back. Actually, a great kid I coach, Josh Chiva, he come and helps out. And he's a great mentor to the kids. So we wanna surround these kids with great mentors and great people, so they can see that as an example and have good role models around them. I think that's the most important part. And a lot what we do has nothing to do about basketball. It's surround these kids with great people that they can look up to. Yeah. And they can see. We talked about dreaming big. They can dream bigger than just Lynn, and they can chase their dreams, and it's okay to work hard. And I think that's the goal, our first step of teaching these kids.
Yeah, we've got a lot of kids in this newer generation that don't really understand. You got to earn things, and through earning it means that hard work has come. So you got to pour out that sweat, blood, tears, all that. It's without a doubt that you guys are focused on these kids. You're focused on giving them an opportunity to get better at a sport that they love, a sport that you love. You're creating a community now. You're creating a community within a community that has a positive focus on sportsmanship, teamsmanship, partnership, and overall development for oneself. Antonio Anderson Skills Academy. You can find more information. You can check them out on Gmail at asaskillsacademy@gmail.com. They're on Instagram. This is a big one. AA_Skills Academy. They post there daily. So again, Instagram at AA_Skills Academy. And you can also check them out on Facebook for more information at Antonio Anderson Skills Academy. Guys, I want to thank you for coming on to the program. Antonio Anderson, Mackenzie Charles from the Antonio Anderson Skills Academy right here in Lynn. From the show, the Lynner Profile, I'm Sean Donahue here at the studio in LynnCAM TV, wishing you all the best.